The Conjuring: Last Rites is the fourth and supposedly final film in the Conjuring franchise, directed once again by Michael Chaves. And here, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront, so it's a great time to do it. I love the first two Conjuring movies, I think they're fantastic, and I like the third one too. I didn't think it was too bad, and this film is directed by the same person who's also done The Curse of La Llorona, as well as The Nun too. He has now done 4 movies in the Conjuring universe. And I think I like this one just about as much as the third, maybe even a tad more, because what this movie did really well that surprised me is it actually has a pretty strong emotional center, and it handles relationships between this family very well. At this point, Ed and Lorraine's daughter Judy is dating a dude named Tony, and Tony really wants to marry her and wants Ed and Lorraine's blessing, and a lot of this movie does focus on him trying to prove himself to them in a way that I didn't expect. I think by now we understand that the Conjuring universe movies, they get scares. They know how to build suspense and tension. That's something they have proven time and time again. But this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and it has to do a lot in that runtime. It has to have the scares that we've all come to expect. It has to have an entity of some kind that we can relate to or get excited about. A paranormal story that we can also get invested in. But more importantly, this time around, it has to end the Ed and Lorraine saga in a big way that feels emotionally resonant. And since their daughter, played by Tomlinson, is so front and center in the story and so important to the narrative, I think that's how they accomplished it. And it did work for me when it comes to fourth entries in a franchise. And of course, this movie also is kind of tied into the Annabelle movies too. But if you just take the Conjuring movies, this is the fourth one. And when you get that far along in most horror franchises, you start to get pretty bad. I mean, like bad. And this one is nothing like that. This still is made with considerable quality and care. And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga have never just cast a check on this franchise. Never once have they phoned it in. They have always given 100% to these characters and to these movies. And both of them have very compelling reasons to be in this film. Yes, this franchise has explored a vast majority of the most well-known paranormal cases. The third one, The Devil Made Me Do It. I think all of us knew about that one too. This one not as well known. Definitely documented. People who love to explore the paranormal know about it, but it's nowhere near as famous as something like Amityville, and there is a haunted mirror in this movie. And of course, we've seen haunted mirror films before, Oculus being one of the best, if not the best, haunted mirror movie ever made. But Michael Chaves is a good filmmaker. He knows how to craft a good scare, how to set up a lot of tension. But again, I will say the thing about this movie that worked the most for me were its characters and the family dynamic. There's a really great scene in a garage where Patrick Wilson and the boy who wants to marry his daughter are playing ping pong. And once he works up the courage to ask for his blessing, the scene I thought would end there, but it keeps going and it felt real to me. The actors did a really good job with it. There is one addition to this film I didn't know about. I hadn't watched any of the trailers, so maybe it was in there and I just didn't know. But it did feel like a bit of an unnecessary callback to things we've seen before. Although, it did generate a reaction for me in one scene where I was like, okay, we're finally doing this. They've never done that. This addition to the movie from some past films maybe didn't have to be there. But I understand that when you're ending a franchise, you feel like you have to stuff everything in there and kind of give the fans everything they could ever want. But I will also say the actual ending of this movie, of course, without getting into details, I thought was very satisfying. I think they did just the right thing. Conjuring 1 and 2 are always going to be the best of this franchise, but 3 and 4 are not bad movies. They're not as good as 1 and 2, but they're still way better than most 3rd and 4th entries in horror franchises, so check it out in theaters. Always support horror in theaters. It is one of the few genres left today where we can do really cool and weird things, and Hollywood doesn't seem to mind. So go see the movie in a theater and support it. Speaking of seeing a movie in a theater, yes. Thank you guys as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon, and if you liked our video, then please subscribe to the channel.